Hi guys, Nicole here with TheNestKeepr, and our mission is to empower a new generation of homemakers. Today I am doing a weekend reset. We had an absolutely crazy week and I did not get much done around the house, so I'm just going to show you kind of what I do around the house when things get out of hand during the week and I need to just reset. So the first thing I do is I start by bringing all of the laundry downstairs that's upstairs, and I don't know how my kids get so much laundry in 1 week. It doesn't make any sense to me, but I think it has to do with the fact that some of them try on clothes and then put the clothes into the laundry hamper when they're not actually dirty. I don't know. I really don't know what happens, but we got a ton of laundry here. So I take every laundry basket from everybody's room and all the towels, and we bring it all downstairs into the laundry room. So I do that first thing so that I can get the laundry going, get it started, and it's gonna take all day long to do all this laundry. So we're just gonna start by popping in the first load into the washing machine and get it going before anything else in the day. Oh my gosh, guys, since I've moved back to Arizona, I have found that my laundry room gets so dusty so fast. Like, I dusted this laundry room probably 3 times today. Who else's laundry room gets so dusty like this? Like, I don't think this was happening when I lived in Washington. Okay, the next thing I'm doing is going to all of the rooms upstairs, all of the kids' rooms, all of our bedroom as well, and collecting all of the dishes that made their way upstairs over the week. And tell me you have teenagers without telling me you have teenagers, because that's a lot of dishes.
I need like a bus or tub to put all this stuff in.
Okay, the next thing I'm doing is just taking a trash bag upstairs, and while I straighten everything up a little bit, I am mainly throwing away things that need to be thrown away. Things that are empty, things that are broken, getting the bathroom trashes, all of that kind of stuff. Listen, I did not want to believe this, but I'm pretty sure my youngest child has gotten taller than me. So now all 3 of my children are taller than me, and I do not like that feeling, guys. I hate broken hangers. I don't know why. This is one of my biggest pet peeves. Comment below if you hate broken hangers too. I just feel like, why? Why is there a broken hanger in my house like at least once a week? What's happening? Like, people are just not careful taking their clothes off the hangers. I don't know. Okay, the next thing I do is make my bed. Because this is the weekend, the kids can make their own bed. I'm just gonna make our bed, and to me, I like to do that early in the day. So that's the next thing I'm gonna do. I like to have a made bed while I am working through the house through the day. It just makes me feel like when the bed's not made, everything feels messy. Guys, so my 18-year-old went away for school this year, and I have to show you. So this teddy bear that I'm about to put on our bed, we made this right before she left. It's our Build-A-Bear that she made for us, and it has her voice, and I love it so much. If you have a kid going off to school, I highly recommend doing this. My husband and I made one for her too. This is a crazy amount of dishes. I know, guys. I don't usually have this many dishes. I stay on top of my dishes really well, but we had a crazy week, and sometimes this just happens. So, yeah, I'm gonna do dishes for a little while now. Wait, how do you guys feel about these Dawn Power Wash spray bottles? I'm kind of mixed about it. I haven't decided if I like them or not, but my husband loves them, so we have gotten them several times now, and the spray is kind of cool, but I also just like the old school Dawn liquid bottle. Tell me how you guys feel in the comments. Also, these squeeze Gatorade bottles drive me crazy because if they get left in the car or left like under a bed, they randomly show up somewhere and they have had anything but water in them. They're always moldy, and that mold is not easy to get off, but the boys love them. Like, they're irreplaceable, so we just have to buy more. Do you guys have the same problem in your house, or this is just a me thing? Okay, so I needed a tea break in the middle of doing dishes, so I just want to show you these magic mind shots. I've been using them to make like a matcha latte with because they've got so many good things for you in them. The base of the shot is actually matcha.
We pour them both in here.
Yeah.
You hear that, guys? She said I'm not good.
I do voiceovers.
Did you even pour them both in there, really?
Yes, I did.
I don't think you.
You don't like a lot of milk. That's so rude.
Thank you is what I actually was gonna say.
of your banana? Go let one of the kids eat it. Do not waste that banana. That's the last banana.
I'm not gonna mix it.
No! Go give it to Cody. Make Cody. Why are you like this?
By the way, this is not an ad and I'm not sponsored by these Magic Mind shots. I just love them. This is absolutely a life hack. If you can make them into these little lattes, they taste so good. Both of my two younger teens have had them and they both said that it tastes like boba. So if you make them into these lattes, they're actually really good. And they have lion's mane, L-theanine, turmeric, some B vitamins, just to name like a few of the things that they have in them. So you saw what I did there. I just poured the shot into a bowl, frothed it with my milk frother, added some more milk, frothed it all together until it was super bubbly, and then poured it over some ice, and it's delicious. After my Magic Mind tea break, I am back in the laundry room and I discovered that the load of laundry I put in the dryer last night to dry is not dry. There was some football pants in there that had plastic on them, so the dryer just turned itself off. It does that. It's like a safety thing so that if something's in there that's not supposed to be in there that will overheat, it will just turn off. So there's another load of laundry that I have to wash this weekend. Also, I don't know if you guys noticed, but I wasn't checking the pockets of any of the pants I was putting into the washing machine. So there was, of course, some kind of paper thing or something in there. So now there's little pieces of paper all over the washing machine and inside the washing machine and on the dryer and on the floor. So that's what I'm vacuuming up here. Okay, so I am back in the kitchen and I am going to finish these dishes. I'm going to load the dishwasher, run the dishwasher, and finish hand washing any dishes that either can't go in the dishwasher or just don't fit in the dishwasher. After doing all those dishes and running all that food down the drain, I use these disposal cleaner. They make my disposal smell so much better, and I just got them off Amazon. Then I'm gonna pop a dishwasher tab into the dishwasher and start the dishwasher. And then when I started drying dishes and putting dishes away, my son came in and we started having a conversation about crumble cookies. So if you're into crumble cookie and you want to join the discussion, just leave a comment below.
Hey, Mama.
Hi.
You cleaned the kitchen?
I did clean the kitchen. Well, I did clean the kitchen.
The truth is, you should just get the cookies that you like the most, like 4 of. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you never know which one you're gonna like the most because
They change
they
every
change
week.
their flavors constantly.
But if you go there enough, you'll know what flavors you like and which ones you don't
If
like.
you go there enough, you get diabetes.
Well, it's kind of easy to tell. They really only have like 10 flavors, and then they usually spin-offs of those different 10 different flavors. You know what I mean?
I don't really. I don't know. Every time I've seen a box, it's been very different than the last box.
Yeah, but I would argue that like all of their cookies fit into like a category, like just like 10 categories.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure there's some kind of like algorithm they use, right?
Yeah. Well, they have set flavors. Like it's not like they make up a new flavors every week. I can show you on the Crumble app. It shows every flavor that they have.
They have an app that shows every single flavor they've ever had.
Yeah, they have an app. But the app has every single flavor on it.
Oh, interesting. So you just like wait for that week. You're like, oh, this is gonna be up in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Do they know? Do they tell you ahead of time like when that one's gonna be available? Do you know?
Probably somewhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're all.
Oh
the
yeah,
same.
that like pink frosted one. That's my favorite.
All the frosted ones are really similar. So like you just know what type of cookie you like and just get it.
Yeah. Yeah, that is true. Like the frosted one that you brought home this time was pretty good, but it did remind me of the pink frosted one. And it was my favorite because it was like that, right?
Yeah.
So you know what style you like the best.
And they have like 30 different Oreo cookies. They have an Oreo cake cookie, they have Oreo cookie, they have Oreo frosting cookie, they have Oreo frosting sprinkles cookie. Like they have a bunch of different Oreo cookies, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And they're all Oreo cookies.
Do you like all the Oreo ones?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. That seems like your style to me.
What?
I said that does seem like your style to me.
Yeah.
So then I'm just washing down the countertops, washing the stove. I love to take the stove top off over the weekend and make sure I get underneath there because that is definitely a place that gets skipped over a lot during the week. And then wash down all of my appliances and all of the countertops, and then the kitchen is reset. Of course, once I get done cleaning the kitchen, I am going to start making lunch. So I'm going to be very careful to clean every dish as I get done using it and put it away. For lunch, I'm just making some tuna melts for the kids. This is an easy, classic go-to lunch. Set the oven to broil, and then for this tuna melt, I started by slicing up some olives. I had a can of whole olives, so I just sliced them up into smaller pieces. And then I'm going to put my toast in the toaster, and I'm using 1 can of tuna, and you can see that I mix it all up in the can before I put it into the bowl. You're just going to make sure it's in little tiny pieces. And Hey, if you guys know like a really good healthy bread that is sourdough and whole grain, I would love some recommendations. I am using the Nature's Own honey wheat, but I'm looking to switch breads to something just a tiny bit more healthy. So then you see I add mayo, salt, and pepper to my tuna and then mix it all up. And then I'm going to add in my black olives that I already sliced up. I'm gonna mix that all up. And then I'm gonna pull out my pickle. These pickles are also whole, so I've gotta slice that up into tiny little pieces. Obviously, once I get done slicing up those pickles, I'm gonna add them to the tuna melt mixture and mix it all up. Then I'm gonna get my toast from the toaster and bring it over, put it on my baking dish. I've got that little baking pan that's not a full-size cookie sheet, but I love this size cookie sheet. It's also the one, if you see my granola video, I make granola on it. I use it all the time. This is a great size for a cookie sheet, really. So then I've got that also, that little parchment paper. You can order these pre-cut parchment papers on Amazon and they are just so much easier to work with. So I'm spreading out the tuna melt mixture on the toast, and then I'm gonna add some cheese on top of the tuna mixture, and then I'm just gonna pop it in the oven under a low broil to melt the cheese. Now it's finally time to start folding some laundry. Folding laundry is so time consuming, but it's not hard and it's not bad. You just have to convince yourself to take the time to do it. And if you have a giant table like this, even better. Just anything, prop something up in front of your television, turn on a Netflix show, and get to work. Get that laundry folded and get it put away. I actually hate socks. I hate folding socks. Who else is in the same boat as me? I can't stand folding socks. I have gotten rid of so many socks, you guys. You don't even understand. I have tried to buy my kids all the same socks so it's easy to find their match. And somehow I keep getting socks, different styles of socks and different shapes of socks that don't match each other. And even when everyone has mostly the same sock, there's still a bunch of socks without matches. Please, somebody make it make sense. Okay, for dinner, I made pork chops, rice, and broccoli. So the seasonings I used on my pork chops was paprika, garlic powder, onion powder, salt and pepper, and Italian seasonings. And I just did that as a dry rub. And then on the stove, my cast iron skillet, I added some oil and some butter, and I'm telling you guys right now, I made a mistake here because I definitely should have started the rice before the pork chops. I should have put the rice on and had it boiling for like at least 10 minutes on simmer before I started my pork chops, but I was in so much of a hurry. I just started everything all at once. I got my rice into the pan, turned it on high to get it to start boiling, and then like went right in with my pork chops, and that was not a good move. Probably should have started the rice, maybe even finished the rice before I started the pork chops. Next time, I will do better. I'm sorry. So, anyways, I put the pork chops down to sear on one side for 3.5 minutes. And as you can see there, I've got all the spices on there just as a dry rub. And then after it's seared for about 3.5 minutes, I flip it over, sear the other side for 3 minutes. And then before I put the lid on my rice and turn the temperature down, I'm gonna add the salt and butter, just a little bit of salt, a little bit of butter to give it a nice flavor, stir it, and then once it is at a boil, you put the lid on and turn it down to low to simmer for 20 minutes. Everybody's rice is different. I guess it depends on what your package says. My package does not say what I do. I do something different. I just always use the same rice, and I know how I like it best. I simmer for 20 minutes and then let it rest for 10. So you can see here after I have seared my pork chops on both sides, I take them out of the pan to make a little simmer sauce inside the pan. I added a little more butter, and then to that butter, after it melts, I'm going to add some water, and then I'm just going to take my spatula and mix it up, mix up the butter and the oil and all the seasonings that the pork chops have been marinated in. And I'm actually going to add any seasonings that was left in the bowl as well when I first seasoned the pork chops. And then I'm just going to add all that to that little simmer sauce, stir it all up, and then I'm going to put the pork chops back into the sauce. I did turn the heat down when I took the pork chops out so that it wasn't too hot when I was making the sauce, just letting the pan cool a little bit, bringing the temperature back down, and then once I put the pork chops in, I turn the heat back up a little bit to bring it to a nice little simmer just so that it can cook the pork chops to temperature. And I'm adding some lemon juice on top of the pork chops. And then once I do that, I'm just going to get a spoon and you tilt the pan up a little bit, and that will create a little area of the sauce you can take to just, douse your pork chops in it so that they're extra juicy and extra tasty. Just putting all that sauce on top of your pork chops. And then okay, so while that's simmering and while I'm waiting for my rice to finish, I am going to start unloading this dishwasher and putting away all these dishes that I put in there earlier so that it is going to be empty and ready for the dinner dishes after dinner. Okay, so now that my rice is finally getting close to being done, I am going to start my broccoli. Again, if you are making this meal, just Do your rice ahead of time. This was really late at night. I had a long day of resetting and really I made a mistake. I should have made the rice ahead of time, but anyways, just go with it, guys. The meal was still really good. So I'm starting my broccoli. I add butter to a pan that is heated on medium heat, and then I add my chopped florets and then drizzle the broccoli with a little bit of olive oil and some fresh lemon juice. Then I'm gonna add a tad more butter to the top. I love butter on my broccoli ever since I worked at Texas Roadhouse when I was younger, a lot younger, and they got me putting butter on my broccoli. It happened there. I don't know how, but that's what happened. Okay, so my seasonings, Italian seasonings, cayenne pepper, salt, and pepper. And this just makes the most delicious broccoli with just a little bit of heat. And I like to leave it sitting to like brown on the butter so that it gets just the tiny bit of like little crisp to it, because I hate mushy broccoli. That's not my style. Okay, so here we go. We're plating dinner. I'm gonna do 1 ladle of rice. Who else uses a ladle to dish up their rice? I always use a ladle. I think like a 1 ladle scoop is the perfect amount. Okay, so then I added my pork chop and then I added the broccoli, and off camera I'm gonna do the other plates for the rest of the family. Okay, so after dinner, of course, there's still work to do. You gotta clean up the dinner dishes, especially if you're doing a weekend reset, because there's nothing worse than going through all that work all day long and then leaving your dinner dishes overnight. So here we are, we gotta clean up those dishes, and luckily, right after dinner, the kids can help too. They can put their own dishes in the dishwasher. I love this time in the evening where everything is clean and everybody is calm because they've had a long day, and it's just such a peaceful, sleepy time, and it's my favorite time of day. Even though I think I'm like more of a morning person because I can get more done in the morning, I love this time at night where everything is just calmed down and quiet and everybody can have like real family bonding time. So I just have 1 more load of laundry to finish while everybody cuddles up on the couch and watches a little Netflix, and then that's it. That's the end of my weekend reset. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope I motivated and inspired you to get some work done.